Seems like you have no idea why you're getting fired, huh? To that question from the CEO, I nodded in agreement. Absolutely no idea. I work as a manager at a major entertainment agency. I've put more effort into my job than anyone else and achieved more than anyone else. And to me, the CEO was about to reveal the reason for my termination. It's because you're incompetent, Mike. And like that, I lost my job. As a result of my job hunting efforts, I ended up working at a new talent agency. Really, everyone here is just incompetent. At my new workplace, even bigger challenges awaited. What lay beyond these challenges, I had no way of knowing at the time, but two people would walk into a future they could never have imagined. One of them was me, once called incompetent, and my name is Mike Johnson, 30 years old. I work as a manager at a certain talent agency, or at least I did. I've just been abruptly fired by the CEO. What's with that look? You want to say you have no idea why you're getting fired? Yes, I don't understand. Why me? Huh? With a heavy sigh, the CEO made a face of utter disbelief. Then, he revealed the reason for my termination. It's because you're incompetent. I work at one of the leading talent agencies in the industry. Models who have graced the covers of famous fashion magazines multiple times. Comedians who host several variety shows. Video streamers with over 1 million subscribers, active on TV, and many other popular talents are part of our roster. Managing them and making their diverse talents known to the world is our job. That's our job to do. Especially, the role of a manager is of utmost importance. Always accompanying the talent, I support their activities hand and foot, or even their brain. Thinking of strategies to maximize their abilities, and sometimes even groveling to entertainment insiders to secure promising opportunities. In short, whether a talent flourishes or fades away depends on the manager. That's why I'm always on my toes, a senior manager once told me. But in my opinion, it's the talents who should always be vigilant. Mike, you left Ashley alone at the site the other day and came back, didn't you? Yes, that's correct. When I nodded, the CEO slammed his fist on the desk with a thud. What do you mean yes, that's correct? Because of that, she had to walk home for 3 hours this time. So what? Ashley is a young model belonging to our agency and one of the talents I manage. She stands out in the agency, especially in the eyes of the CEO, who has high hopes for her. She has a bad habit of overeating when stressed, making it exceptionally hard for her to maintain her figure. I've repeatedly left her at the site with only her sneakers. She has no choice but to walk home since her wallet and smartphone are taken away. She came to me crying about this. But in the end, she did lose weight, right? That's why she passed the audition and got the magazine job, isn't it? That's not the point. It's not just about Ashley. What were you planning to do if something happened to our precious talents? The CEO's voice was filled with intense anger, his fists clenched so tightly that his nails dug in. But I don't understand. Why should I be the one to blame? Why am I, who continually achieves top results in the management department, getting fired? The entertainment industry is a world of fierce competition. Yet, recently, our talents seem to have too little professional consciousness. Ashley is no exception. She complains about not losing weight but makes little effort and always opts for a taxi right away. So, as her manager, I merely advised her, just move as much as you eat. Supporting the talents, leading them to showcase their abilities, that's the job of a manager. And I've achieved more in that role than anyone. The contributions I've made to the company's performance, the number of talents I've brought to success, the CEO should understand that. The talents are saying they'll move to another agency if you, Mike, don't leave. They can stand your methods, or you'll do anything to make them sell, even if it's inhumane. The CEO was right. I knew my talents referred to me as a demon and man of iron behind my back. I was the manager who'd make them follow dangerous diets and force them into jobs they'd categorically refused. Heartless, in a word. Even if you help hundreds of talents blossom and turn them into successful stars, if they aren't from our agency, it's all pointless. If they transfer to other agencies, we're just handing our rivals a victory. And the ones talking about transferring are all big sellers. If this continues, you'll be branded as the incompetent who caused a mass talent exit. No. The moment you failed to consider their feelings, you became an incompetent manager, Mike. That was the CEO's final word to me. Right after, I was stripped of all my responsibilities, and with the strong antipathy from my colleagues, I completely lost my place in the agency. Consequently, I had no choice but to accept my dismissal. Known as the heartless demon manager, no other talent agency would take me in, making my job search incredibly challenging. Yet, after indiscriminately attending numerous interviews, months later, I finally received an offer from one agency. At my new agency, even someone as allegedly heartless as me was overwhelmed by an impressive individual. Just make sure you don't upset her, okay? On my first day, a staff member at the new agency stressed this to me. I've heard about your reputation, but please, we're done for if she quits. Are you referring to Ms. Ashley? Yeah, our main and currently only talent. I was aware of this when I accepted the interview at this small agency. Currently, there's only one talent in this small agency. That was Ashley Carter. Ashley Carter, with her demure looks as her selling point, is a 22-year-old young actress. With her long straight black hair, clear pale skin, and slender limbs, she's undoubtedly beautiful. But honestly, such talents are a dime a dozen in the entertainment industry, and her acting skills are nothing extraordinary. Yet, she was once touted as the #1 actress to break through next. This was due to a unique asset she possessed. I lost my parents in an accident when I was little. Since then, my grandmother has been my only family. That was Ashley Carter's go-to story at the time. She actively shared her unfortunate background and memories of being raised by her grandmother in the media. This garnered public sympathy and admiration, making her an instant sensation. I admired her marketing strategy and had seen her a few times at TV stations. However, about a year ago, she suddenly vanished from the public eye. She's fallen out of favor, hasn't she? That's a taboo topic around her. Words like "on the decline" or "I used to watch her a lot" are also off limits. That strict, huh? Too careful not to get fired. There's that, but the main reason is it's easier to just appease her. Easier. With a wry smile, my senior knocked on the door in front of us. As he opened the door, he said to me, "You'll understand once you see." And at that moment, "You're all fired." As the shout rang out, something struck my cheek. And then, with a dull thud, a water bottle, still full, hit the wall. Ick. So annoying. Can't even keep a talent happy, and you call yourselves entertainment agency staff. Calm down. Sure, this time was disappointing, but there are plenty of auditions ahead. You don't get it at all. I told you I wanted to play that role and co-star with that handsome actor. Seriously, everyone here is just so incompetent. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Inside the room, there was a small crowd. Several men and women had their backs to us, trying to soothe the person sitting in the central chair. Despite being called incompetent, no one seemed willing to argue back or reprimand a person. Frankly, it was an odd scene. Yeah, I can see how this could lead to a downfall. As I muttered to myself, the staff member who had been guiding me, along with the men and women in the room, suddenly looked panicked and converged on me. "Mike, are you the new guy? Didn't you get warned? That's a taboo." Just when things were starting to calm down. Don't say unnecessary things. While berating me in whispers, everyone glanced furtively into the room, as if gauging the person's reaction. "Please, if you upset her, it's all over. Do you know how many staff members have been fired for trivial reasons? The boss always sides with her, more than us." "Hey, what are you whispering about? That's so rude." The loud voice from inside the room made the staff members flinch. Seeing this, I pushed past them and walked into the room alone. "Mike." Despite the panicked voice of my colleague, I shut the door behind me. The person inside, sitting on a chair, looked at me with a puzzled expression. "Who are you? Why are you here without my permission?" Her hair was dyed a bright brown and curled flamboyantly. Her makeup was much heavier than before. Dressed in a revealing dress, she had strayed far from her previous demure image. To Ashley Carter, I ignored her question and bluntly stated, "If things keep going this way, you're the one who's finished." "What? It's time to put an end to your capricious behavior. And your look, too. If you want to make a comeback, you should revert to your former style. Who do you think you are?" As she stood up in anger, I introduced myself as the new manager, Mike. I then revealed that I was appointed as her manager at the CEO's explicit request. The CEO asked me to help revive Ashley Carter. The CEO. That's a lie. Hiring someone so rude. That's how desperate the situation is. I won't pamper you anymore. If I fail, I'm prepared to end a contract with you. That's impossible. This was information unknown to the other staff, something only I was privy to. Ashley seemed shocked to hear it for the first time, but soon smirked cunningly. Revive. Easy, right? Just play the sympathy card with the grandma story again. Are you an idiot? What? The entertainment world isn't so forgiving that the same trick works over and over. You ran out of work because that story got old. Don't you understand even that? I do understand. What's with you, calling me an idiot all this time? I don't need a manager like you. You're fired. I'll quit this agency too. Before that, the agency will likely go under. Go under. Didn't I say it? Things are desperate. The reason this agency's CEO was the only one to hire me, after being rejected by every other agency, it's because the situation was so dire that he had to place his last hope in me. The agency's finances were that bad, obviously worsened by the fact that their only talent had no work at all. Who would take in a declining actress if this agency collapses? You're not exceptionally skilled in acting or uniquely beautiful. Do you have any other tricks up your sleeve? Well, Ashley looked confused, her eyes darting around before she finally slumped her shoulders. Silent, she still had the looks of a celebrity, viable in the entertainment industry. It all depended on how she was marketed. I immediately began formulating a strategy in my mind. Just to confirm, you don't intend to retire from show business? No, but I can't stand a manager like you. We'll never get along. We don't have to get along. What? I also don't want the job I finally secured to go under. You don't want this agency to collapse either. So, let's use each other. If you use me as your manager, then I'll use your talent to my advantage. Use each other. Ashley mumbled to herself repeatedly for a while. Then, as if she had made up her mind, she suddenly smirked. Fine. I'll use you, Mike. The expression she wore was, strangely, more her than the demure character she had sold before. It seemed oddly more captivating than before. First off, I'll do whatever it takes for results. And you're going to follow my instructions to the letter. When meeting a talent for the first time, I always make this declaration. Some, like just a manager, might react negatively, but then there are others, like the woman in front of me. I've already reverted my hair, makeup, and clothes back to the original style. What more do you want me to do? Walk. What? From now on, you're not using any transportation. All your travel will be on foot. Don't bother disguising yourself. Sing if you have to. Make sure you stand out. What? Are you crazy? I'll be snapped by the paparazzi. So what? Huh? I conveyed a harsh reality to the confused Ashley. She wasn't valuable enough for the tabloids to care about anymore. In fact, getting photographed would be a bean for us. In our cash-strapped state, any publicity for Ashley Carter's comeback was a chance we couldn't afford to miss. And what about any untold stories with your grandmother that haven't been released to the media yet? If there aren't any, I'll make one up. Make one up? You mean lie? But you said sentimental stories are no good, Mike. That alone isn't enough. Let's see, there's only one way. What are you muttering about? Ashley looked puzzled. I was about to reveal the comeback plan I had just devised for her. You're going to engage in a publicity stunt. A week later, Ashley rushed to me, holding the latest issue of a tabloid magazine. Mike, I got caught. Of all things, doing that. Taking the magazine from the almost tearful Ashley, I nodded significantly without changing my expression. Better than expected, I said. You followed my instructions well. The picture of you picking up trash turned out great. I'm not happy at all. Walking around town every day, not allowed to come back until the trash bag is full. You're really a demon. Keep picking up trash every day until you get a job. What? Ashley complained. No more. But the tabloid had given us more coverage than expected, and the response on social media was promising. Comments like, Ashley Carter's publicity stunt for a comeback suddenly acting nice. So annoying. We're flooding in. What's this? It's causing a huge uproar. It's a mix of opinions. There are supportive comments like, "I think it's good. Don't worry, not everyone is against you. But if we stop now, it'll just be a stunt. But if we keep going until we get results, we'll win." "Results, you mean?" Confused, Ashley's expression subtly changed, showing a hint of expectation towards me. Every talent that had looked at me with that expression ended up being successful. "Keep picking up trash. If you do, job offers will definitely come." A week after this prediction, the first offer was an interview request from a local TV station. Why did Ashley start picking up trash? Well, I thought it would be nice if the town were clean when my grandmother comes to visit. I wanted to tell her with a smile that I'm working hard here. Ashley followed my instructions for the interview, even shedding tears. This moved people, tilting the balance of opinions on social media more towards the favorable side. Her popularity rose, and just as she started to regain public recognition, job offers for TV shows came in. A documentary volunteering at an elderly care facility for 3 weeks. It's the result of building an image of you caring for your grandmother. It also shows that the trash picking wasn't just for publicity, but that was all for publicity, and the stuff about my grandma. Are you going to refuse? Offers like this will keep coming. I can make you lie as much as necessary. After some hesitation, Ashley looked down, but then looked up at me decisively and said, "I'll do it. I'll take it on. I won't refuse any job, whatever it is." "All right. Then expect no days off for at least the next 6 months. Wait, what? Continue to walk as much as possible for transportation. Keep getting photographed for tabloids, and continue picking up trash. I've also booked lessons for acting, singing, and martial arts. Don't turn down any job offers." "What? No way. Monster manager. Heartless." Ashley vented her frustrations on me, but her weary, staggering walks around town, captured by the tabloids, garnered public interest and sympathy. Adding to that, her sad confessions about her strict new manager made it impossible for anyone to criticize her. Only support and encouragement flowed in for Ashley Carter, who once again became the talk of the town. Everything was going according to my plan. I'm so busy. How many more shoots do we have this month? 20. I've already reduced it to 1 per day, considering your lesson schedule. Yeah, right. You're so considerate, even now. Though she still showed a hint of sarcasm towards me, as work gradually increased, Ashley's behavior towards the staff at the agency changed. She stopped being capricious and yelling, and whenever something happened, she would say thank you or sorry. According to the staff members, she had returned to her former self. In the past, the decline in work led her to become reckless and lash out in frustration. "Thank you, Mike. Always." "What? What's with that look? Is it so rare for me to thank you?" "No, it's just." It wasn't only that it was the first time she had thanked me, but also, it was the first time any talent I managed had shown gratitude instead of calling me a monster or heartless man of steel. Unusually, I found myself at a loss for words. "Hey, your face is red. Is something wrong?" "What? So even you, Mike, can make such a face. It's very humane." With that, Ashley smiled at me for the first time. Seeing that, my heart inexplicably skipped a beat, but I chalked it up to a misunderstanding or something like that. Ashley's media exposure continued to grow steadily afterward. Her primary job as an actress also saw a series of successes, and her effort in acting classes paid off, earning her acclaim as the actress most likely to make you cry. As a result of her success, the agency reversed its fortunes from the brink of closure to recording its highest profits since its inception. "Thank you, Mike. Honestly, it was a gamble, but it really paid off having you join us." At a celebratory drinking party held at the office, the CEO gripped my hand and expressed his gratitude in a heartfelt tone. "Really, Mike, you're our savior. Thank you for saving the agency." Following the CEO, other staff members also conveyed their gratitude to me. Yet, I still wasn't used to receiving thanks and felt a strange, uncomfortable feeling, responding with just what I see. "However, Mike, you've changed too, haven't you?" "What?" "Yeah, how should I put it? You've become more humane." I was told the same by Ashley before, but I don't really get it. Is it an insult? Of course not. As I turned my head, bewildered, everyone around me burst into smiles. "It's a really good thing," they said. I tilted my head, not quite convinced. Then, it happened. "Mike, you haven't drunk anything yet. Come on." "What?" The reason I nearly shouted was that Ashley, flushed with intoxication, had suddenly hugged me from behind. He, surprised. "Dacha, careful. Stop that, it's dangerous." My heartbeat accelerated to an alarming rate, and I struggled to find words. It must have been the shock, as I tried to gently push Ashley away. What? "Oh dear, Ashley's fallen asleep. Sorry to ask, Mike, but could you take her to her apartment?" "What?" In that moment, my heart skipped a beat, fitting even louder. "Ashley, we're here, at your apartment. Time to wake up." Supporting the drunken Ashley, I somehow managed to bring her to her apartment, though it felt ironic for me, who once made her walk the streets without a disguise. I couldn't help but think that the security seemed a bit lax for a popular actress like her. As I gently shook her to wake her up, I called out, "Ashley, hey, are you okay?" "Heck, I feel sick." "What?" "I feel like throwing up." "The key. Hang in there, just a little longer, you can do this." I encouraged her, pale-faced, as I frantically searched through her bag for the apartment keys. After opening the door and hastily guiding her to the bathroom, I finally took a moment to catch my breath. That's when I noticed several photographs hanging along the corridor wall. So, this is. Each photo showed a younger Ashley smiling alongside an older woman with a kind expression. They shared similar smiles. It was clear to me that this woman must be Ashley's grandmother. As the bathroom door opened, a still pale Ashley staggered out. "I feel awful. Everything's spinning. Just go to bed. I'll take you to your room and then I'll leave." "No." "What?" Suddenly, she tugged at my arm, gripping the sleeve of my suit. "Please don't go. Stay with me tonight." "What?" To put it simply, she didn't let go of my suit sleeve all night long. And throughout, the sound of my racing heart kept me from catching a wink of sleep. "Mike, are you still there? Are you really there?" she asked repeatedly. "I'm here. You don't have to ask again and again." "Good." As we lay in bed, Ashley took a long time to fall asleep, repeatedly engaging in such small talk. "Did you see the pictures of me and my grandmother?" "Yeah, I did. She's cute, isn't she? And so kind. She never got angry with me, not even once." Ashley began to reminisce with a faint smile. She talked about the days from when she lost her parents at the age of 5 until she entered the entertainment industry, always with her grandmother by her side. "When we were together, I never felt lonely. Whenever I cried, she would always hold me. She always cooked my favorite dishes. Whenever I made a mistake, she wouldn't scold me but helped me think about how not to make the same mistake again. She used to say she loved me enough for both my parents. I loved her too, but then, I did such terrible things." As Ashley entered her teenage years, she began to feel embarrassed about her grandmother's presence. She used to tell her not to come to school events like parent-teacher meetings because I was ashamed to be seen with her. "Grandma's cooking isn't good. I don't want it. Don't talk to me. It's annoying." With these harsh words, she hurt her grandmother. Ashley vented all the stress of being teased at school for having no parents and her inexplicable irritability onto her grandmother. Yet, her grandmother never scolded her. On Parents' Day at school, she would always wait for Ashley in the shadow of the school gate. Even if Ashley didn't touch her food, her grandmother would always prepare it, asking, "Aren't you hungry? Or did something bad happen at school?" Even when ignored. This continued even after Ashley graduated from high school, moved to New York Cologne, and entered the entertainment industry. She called me a lot, asking if I was okay, if I was eating properly. But gradually, I started ignoring her. I was ashamed of her and hid her existence from others. Struggling to make it as an actress, a desperate Ashley publicized her grandmother's existence to gain public attention. And now, talking about her memories with her grandmother was part of her comeback. She hated herself for always using her grandmother when her career struggled. "That's why I hate myself for it." Before long, tears were silently streaming down Ashley's face. "Ever since I first talked about my grandmother on TV, she hasn't called once. She must be really angry. Grandma must hate me now." Ashley sobbed like a child, her tears flowing endlessly, even as she eventually fell asleep. Seeing her like this, I thought, don't cry. That's absolutely not true. I wanted her to stop crying and smile again. It was a feeling I had never experienced before. Perhaps it was a feeling of affection for the woman before me. A year later, I continued as Ashley's manager, with her career still going strong. Ashley had not only excelled in her acting career, but also demonstrated an unexpected talent for singing. She held several small live performances, gradually increasing her fan base, which led to the upcoming big event, renting out a large concert venue often used by famous artists. Hey, Mike, weren't you supposed to have a magazine shoot on this day? I rescheduled that for another day. It's better to have some leeway in the schedule for any unforeseen circumstances. What's with that look? Ashley, lifting her gaze from the schedule book, smiled mischievously at me. She leaned in close and whispered in my ear, I know why you did it. You think I'm tired and need a break, right? You could just say it. It's not that. You're blushing. You've really become more human, Mike. Thank you. For about a year now, I found it hard to look directly at Ashley, especially when she smiled so broadly, like she was doing now. Thanks to you, Mike, I'm in good shape for the upcoming concert. After that, my schedule should be a bit more relaxed. That's true. Then, how about we go on a trip together? What? I turned abruptly, and Ashley chuckled at my reaction. What's wrong? I want to get into character for my next drama. You know, the detective role in a mystery happening at an inn. Well, if that's the case. What if it wasn't the case? Stop nagging me. Even as I turned my back saying, I'm busy. Go over there. Ashley kept laughing beside me. Then suddenly, her laughter ceased, and she murmured softly, I'm glad I met you, Mike. That feeling was mutual. I was incredibly happy to share the same sentiment. I should have expressed that honestly. I would come to regret not doing so after everything was over. Half a month later, on the day of the concert, the audience was packed, and Ashley's singing was in top form. After successfully finishing all the songs, Ashley, returning backstage, spotted me and rushed over. How was I today? Yeah, you were great, really. Listen, the applause is still going. No, I want to know what you think, Mike. How was it? That I'll tell you later. Go change now. Humph. Ashley, slightly annoyed, headed to the dressing room to change. After making sure Ashley had left for the dressing room, I contacted a certain person. Yes. As planned, during the encore. Please go ahead. Eventually, responding to the encore calls, Ashley returned to the stage. She stepped forward to address the audience at the microphone. That's when it happened. A quiet carried through the mic, spreading throughout the venue. Standing in front of the mic, Ashley froze, her gaze fixated on the far end of the hall, a wheelchair-accessible area with plenty of space. Grandma, Ashley whispered, and at the same moment, the audience's gaze shifted in unison. There, in a wheelchair, was an elderly woman in her 80s. She was noticeably thinner than the woman in the photographs at the apartment, Ashley's grandmother. Is that Ashley's grandmother? The one who raised her alone? That's her. No way, is that really her? The crowd was abuzz, people jostling each other in a mild panic to get a better look. Even the media, there to cover the concert, abandoned Ashley and rushed towards the wheelchair section. The commotion escalated to the point where the encore was no longer feasible. First, get the grandmother out. We'll handle the situation here. Please move her as far away from the venue as possible. I relayed instructions to the staff near the wheelchair section and rushed towards Ashley, still frozen on the stage. Ashley, why is she here? That's Grandma, isn't it? Why is she here? I'll explain later. For now, let's go to the dressing room. Mike. Ashley looked up at me with a face about to cry, and I couldn't bring myself to look her straight in the eye. After somehow calming the chaos and leaving the concert venue, Ashley had a reunion with her grandmother in a secluded park, their first in 5 years. Grandma. Oh, Ashley. For your information, Ashley is her real name. Grandma, why were you there? No, why didn't you call me all this time? Were you angry with me? Angry? Why would I be angry with you, Ashley? I've been in the hospital for over 2 years. What? Ashley's grandmother had been unwell and hospitalized for the last couple of years. The hospital staff had tried to contact Ashley, her only family, but her grandmother had stopped them. I always watched you working hard on the TV in the hospital. I didn't want to interrupt you. Interrupt. You're more important than work. Are you okay now? Not in pain? Yes. I was finally discharged recently. I wanted to see you so much. I'm sorry for causing trouble. No, not at all. I wanted to see you too. Ashley and her grandmother hugged tightly, both shedding tears of joy over their reunion. Ashley apologized for her past behavior and for using their memories without consent, and her grandmother forgave her with open arms. After grandmother kindly forgave Ashley for her past actions and misuse of their memories, they reconciled successfully. Later, after escorting her grandmother to the hotel where she was staying and returning to the office, Ashley took me to an empty room and glared at me. Was it you, Mike? Did you bring Grandma to the concert? She wouldn't tell me when I asked, but I overheard you. Before the encore, you were on the phone. Was that about secretly getting Grandma into the venue? You knew Grandma was there. Why didn't you tell me? Did you think it would be inconvenient to tell me? As she glared at me, tears began to fill her eyes. Seeing this, I nodded firmly. It was inconvenient. I thought you'd oppose using your grandmother again. What? Work has been decreasing lately. I thought causing a stir at the concert venue would regain public attention. It was a huge success, probably making national news tomorrow. That's terrible. Why are you shocked? You've been using your grandmother all along. Before I could finish, I felt a dull pain on my cheek. Ashley, who had just slapped me, was in tears. I don't want work that comes from burdening my recovering grandmother. I thought you would understand that. I've always said I don't choose means. I never thought you'd be this heartless. I can't believe in you anymore, Mike. I don't even want to see your face anymore. Shouting continuously, Ashley stormed out of the room, leaving me alone. Quietly, I removed the employee badge hanging around my neck. The next day, while Ashley was away on location, I left the office. Wait, please. I can't just fire you after you saved our company. CEO, someone has to take responsibility. As the person who caused this commotion, please fire me. I'm asking you. But here is Ashley's schedule book. I've also compiled important handover notes. Please give this to the next manager. The CEO and the staff tried to persuade me to stay until the very end, but my decision was firm. Besides, I no longer belonged here, especially after being told by Ashley, now the company's leading actress, that she never wanted to see my face again. Thank you for everything. I closed the office door, bowed, and walked away, starting to think about what to do next. What shall I do from now? I've been so busy all this time. Just work and more work, and I have enough savings. Maybe I'll take it easy for a while. Mike. Or perhaps I should visit my hometown and see my parents. Mike. What? Startled by a woman's voice calling my name, I turned around. Suddenly, something jumped into my arms. It was Ashley. What are you doing here? The shoot was Big Rain. Stopped, went to Grandma, then to the office. Calm down. Take a deep breath and tell me everything from the beginning. Okay. As I calmed Ashley down, who was panting from running, she explained everything. First, the shoot was canceled midway due to heavy rain, so she had some free time and decided to visit her grandmother at the hotel. Then she hurried to the office, only to find out I had already left. You hurried. I asked Grandma everything. Why you lied to me? About Grandma. That it was her idea to see me sing. With the truth out, I had no choice but to confess. I had lied to anger Ashley on purpose, to leave her life. I sent a letter to let your grandmother know about your success. I heard. For a year, repeatedly. They were piled up in the post, and a neighbor took them to the hospital. And then, the two of you started exchanging letters, right? Yes. It was a difficult time, but now she's doing well and working hard. Finding out that she was good at singing, Ashley also started getting involved in music, in addition to acting. I often wrote about how she regretted the harsh words she said in the past. I regularly penned letters about Ashley's life and sent them secretly to her grandmother. So I was aware of her hospitalization, but at her grandmother's request, I kept it secret from Ashley. She's really kind at heart. If she knew I was in the hospital, she would lose focus on her work. If she dropped everything to come back, I would scold her severely. So I asked for it to be kept a secret. I heard about that too, but I really wanted to see her. Before I die, I wanted to see my granddaughter succeed. Right in front of me, her grandmother had asked me. Yes, and you tried to stop it, didn't you? Everyone knew Ashley Carter's grandmother would be a media sensation. If found, it would cause a huge commotion, so I persuaded her not to enter the concert venue. But in the end, I was overruled. I planned for her to quietly enter the venue for just one encore song. I asked the venue staff for cooperation, moved her discreetly, and even covered her face with a hat. But instead of the media, it was Ashley who noticed her, leading to the chaos that ensued. I didn't know anything. I'm so sorry. I slapped you and said I never wanted to see your face again. Ashley apologized to me with a serious look in her eyes. She was like a completely different person from when we first met. With her current mindset, she will undoubtedly continue to build a successful career, even without me by her side. Certainly. I'm leaving now. Give my regards to your grandmother and take care. Why? I'll explain everything to the CEO. It's not your fault, Mike. It's for the best. Anyway, I had to leave the agency. Why? That's because I fell in love with her. Confronted by a teary Ashley, I had no choice but to confess. You love me. Yes, I have for a long time, for over a year. That's why I can't stay any longer. Why? I feel the same about you, Mike. That's exactly why. What? I had somehow sensed Ashley's feelings towards me. That's why I kept my own feelings hidden. A romance between an actress and her manager would only cause turmoil in her life, becoming nothing more than a scandal that would interfere with her work. Staying by her side without revealing my feelings was unbearably painful, so I decided to leave her. Thank you. You changed me. I feel much more at ease now, much happier than when I was working without regard for the means. The desire to change came because I wanted to see you happy. Mike, I hope you keep smiling. That alone would be. Mike. She hugged me tightly from behind. I want you, Mike, to be by my side. We should part. If someone takes a photo of us like this, I don't care. I want everyone to know how much I love you. The part of my back where her face must have been felt incredibly warm. Unable to resist, I turned around, and as expected, Ashley's face was flushed red. I never thought I'd hear such a line outside of a drama. Mike, you're one to talk. Saying you want me to keep smiling. Didn't that make you blush? Your face is so red. What? Touching my own cheek, I realized it was burning hot. For a while, we looked at each other with our flushed faces and then burst out laughing together. Ha, your face is so funny. So was yours. Haha. After we had laughed for a bit, I asked Ashley a question. Are you sure you won't regret this? Her answer was, let's go, Mike. What? The CEO didn't officially fire you. He asked me to somehow bring you back. Holding my hand, Ashley started running towards the office. Running alongside her, I made up my mind. I would never let her regret this decision. No matter what happens, I'll handle it. If we can be together, I won't have any regrets either. Later, I was given a nominal punishment and eventually returned to being Ashley's manager. Now, I continue to support her as she grows more versatile in her career. And we're secretly dating. Hey, Mike, can you get the 3rd off next month? Ashley suddenly asked, getting into the passenger seat of the company car after a TV shoot. Next month? That day is. Oh, there's nothing scheduled yet. Really? Actually, it's my grandmother's birthday that day. I want to go back to celebrate with her. Got it. I'll keep the schedule clear. Thank you. No sooner had she said this, Ashley leaned in close and pressed her lips to my cheek. I love you, Mike. What are you doing in the parking lot? What if someone sees? Is it okay if no one can see us? What? With a bright smile, Ashley whispered in my ear. Why don't we celebrate Grandma's birthday together and then go on a trip, just the two of us? Ashley suggested. Somewhere with fewer people and beautiful scenery would be nice. You're asking me to find such a place. Is that bad? That's unfair, you know. How can I resist when she looks at me like that, with those upturned eyes and a tilted head? Right now, our relationship is a secret to everyone. But someday, I intend to declare proudly to anyone who asks. I am the one making Ashley happy. The old me only cared about achieving results. But if I hadn't changed from that person, I wouldn't be able to see the smile of someone important to me right now. Of course, achieving results at work is important. But is that all there is? Aren't there other important things we might be overlooking? Things we might regret later if we don't stop to consider them. I can say this now because I didn't lose sight of what's truly important.